Now, we are diving into something super fun and colorful, strokes and color defaults in Figma. But before we jump in, let's break it down real simple. Imagine you are drawing a picture. You start with a pencil outline, right? Well, in Figma, strokes are like those outlines. They help define the edges of shapes just like tracing a picture. It is a way to make things stand out and look neat. Now, let's talk about color defaults. You know when you pick a crayon from a box and it's already a certain color. Well, in Figma, there are default colors ready for you to use. It is like having a bunch of crayons already sorted by color. So, strokes and color defaults in Figma are like basic tools you need to make cool stuff. With strokes, you outline your shapes, and with color defaults, you pick colors easily without any extra fuss. Stay tuned as we explore more about strokes, colors, and lot of other exciting stuff in Figma. Let's get creative together.
Guys, in this video of Figma course, I'm going to explain you about default strokes and color settings in Figma. So basically how you can make customized settings into default so that whenever you are using those settings or using those default designing techniques, you'll be able to get that customized design or customized settings or customized options. Now you might get confused while I'm telling you this, right? So let's just do one thing. Let's go to Figma directly and learn about Figma strokes and color default settings. So guys, as you can see, right now we are on Figma tool definitely, and as always we have some designings over here, right? And we do have one blank frame over here, right? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you first that this is a design, this is a totally customized design. What I have done is I have created or I have drawn a rectangle, and then I have added a stroke over here. I have written the some text over here, and I've changed the color obviously, right? Now for example, if I go to a rectangle again, I've selected the rectangle shape, right? And if I draw the rectangle shape again, you will see that there is no any stroke, there is no any color, the same color or nothing else, right? But what if you can make this designing, basically this color stroke, I mean this the stroke design and the color default setting, basically you can make this customization into default. So instead of drawing this, whenever you are drawing, basically whenever you are selecting the rectangle and draw like this, you will be able to get the same design with the same customizations. So to do that, what you need to do is you need to select the shape or the designing where the customizations or the editing have been applied. Now you need to go to this Figma icon. As you can see, this is the Figma icon in your menu bar, right? This is the first option, main menu. When you click here, and if you go a little bit down to the edit option, here you'll be able to see when you are hovering your cursor on the edit option, you'll be able to see set default properties. So when you click set default properties, now there's nothing has been changed, just here you'll be able to see that property set default. Now whenever you go to rectangle shape, basically you select rectangle shape and you draw a rectangle, you will get the same settings as default, right? So earlier in a traditional way, what you need to do is you need to select the rectangle first, then draw the design, and then go to the properties of that particular shape and change the color, change the stroke. But now what you have done, you have changed this, basically the default setting to this customization. Now whenever you are selecting the square, I mean rectangle shape, you will get the same stroke size, I mean same stroke and the same color. Now there are a few other options as well which you can use. Basically, let's say you don't want to make this setting default, so what you can do is you can use these two options as well. You need to go back to the same option, that Figma main menu option, and go to edit option. You will be able to see copy properties and paste properties option as well. So what is the use of copy properties and paste properties? For example, as you can see right now, the buy button has a purple shade and there's no any stroke over here. If I zoom in a little bit, you will be able to see that there's no any stroke, right? So what I can do is, let me just Yeah, bring it in the middle. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy the properties of this shape and I'm going to apply the properties to here. So this is also a kind of a same, but in this case you don't have to make the settings default, right? So you can go to again edit. First you need to select the shape first, right? So I've selected the shape. Now you need to go to the main menu, go to edit, and here you can see that here's the copy properties as option and paste properties option are blinking. So what you can do is obviously first you need to copy the properties because you want to copy the properties of this shape. So I'm going to copy and then I'm going to select this shape and go back to main menu, go to edit and paste the properties. Even you do have the shortcut keys as well, control alt C, control alt V, right? And if you are on Mac, you can go to your main menu option and you'll be able to see the shortcut keys for the Mac as well, right? You just need to go to this option. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to click on paste properties and the properties have been pasted and the settings is changed now. In the same way I can paste the property here as well. So this time I'm going to press the shortcut key which was control alt V and the properties have been pasted over here. So this is how you can make the default settings as well as you can copy and paste the properties as well. So in a first option you can change the properties. Basically you can set the properties into default, whatever the properties or whatever the customizations you have done here, like the color filling options, strokes, effects, or whatever you have done, like with these options as well, you can set that as default, right? In any shape I have shown you with rectangle, you can go with lines, arrows, ellipse, whatever you want, right? And the second one was the copy and paste option. Now I'm gonna show you one more option over here. Here you can see that we do have strokes, right? This is not a stroke, this is basically lines which I have drawn using this option, this line option, right? So I've just did like this and the line has been drawn, right? Now for example if I want to copy this, so what I can do is I can just press the alt button on my keyboard and you'll see that there is a slight change, slight copy kind of thing in my cursor, right? This is the default cursor. If I press the alt button, as you can see there's a one more thing over here, right? So when I press the alt button and while pressing the alt button, if I drag this line a little bit down, I'll be able to see that I have created a duplicate line of that, right? In the same way I can create multiple duplicate lines, and this is how I've created this hamburger icon. This is a menu icon but we call it hamburger icon, right? Now let me just delete this. Now if I zoom in a little bit, here you'll be able to see that we do have this very sharp edges over here, as you can see, right? This is very sharp edge. So in a stroke settings, as you can see here, we do have some options. You can do some extra changes. So by default these lines are being drawn like this, right? For example, if I draw line once again, let me make it done, and if I draw a line once again, here you will be able to see that this is the by default line, right, with some sharp edges, right? And you can draw like anything you want. For example, if you want to make it horizontal, vertical, tilted, or whatever you want, right? Now for example if you want to do some cosmetic changes to this line, so how you can do that? So for that you need to go to strokes option, where you can change the width of this line, you can change the kind of a position of this line, right? And here you can see some extra options, right? But when you click here, this is the three dot icon. When you click, this is advanced options over here, right? So right now we do have stroke style, solid. If you want, you can get dashes. If you want to go with custom, you can do that as well, right? And then we do have some join, bevel. So these options are also there. If you want to try, you can give it a try, right? But we do have some very important options which makes some extra cosmetic changes to your line. For example, as I told you that these lines have very sharp edges right now. Now, for example, if I select this line and if I go to this option, here you can see that you can add line arrow, triangle arrow, and different kind of other things as well. But if you want, you can make this line round like this, right? So both side you can do that, right, in this way, right? For example, if you want to apply this same settings into all these three lines, so what you need to do is you just need to select these lines like this. You can go to strokes wax again. Let me scroll. Yeah, and here you just need to select the round edge or whatever. For example, if you want square edge, you can do that as well. So what this thing adds, this adds some extra edge. So this is the line. Basically, this is the point where the line ends, and if I select this square option, this adds some extra edge over there, right? If I select this one, here you will be able to see that this is the ending point, but here it adds some extra round point. So in the same way, if I select square, it adds some extra edge after the line, but I'm going to select round both side, which looks good, right? And I'm going to delete this one and this one. Now if I zoom out a little bit, this is how it looks like, right? So it looks more cleaner instead of the square one, right? Now this was all about the line and the shape defaults, right? So in the same way you get defaults in all these settings. So what I've already told you that you can copy those properties and paste to another shapes, right? Now that's it for this video. I hope you understood the default settings and the copy and paste properties settings, right? So this is basically for the efficiency, so that you can increase your efficiency while designing on Figma. With that said, I'll be meeting you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.
So guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was really helpful and you liked the content, then do not forget to hit the subscribe button and bell icon. We are coming up with more interesting topics in the upcoming videos. Till then, bye bye.